In today's news, Manchester United save Odion Ighalo from returning to the Chinese Super League. Kia Trabzon pimps out Coutinho to any Premier League club who will take him. Are Liverpool being robbed of celebrating the title at Goodison Park? And finally, Manchester United fans throw their knickers at São Niguez like a famous 90s rock star, only to wake up with a backup dancer. So Manchester United have extended Odion Ighalo's loan deal from Shanghai Shenhua until January the 31st of 2021. The Nigerian international has scored 4 goals in 8 appearances for Manchester United, but has failed to score in the Premier League. He has also extended his contract with the Shanghai club from 2022 to 2024 for £400,000 per week, which is utterly ridiculous. I think this is the biggest flex anyone can do in this pandemic, basically. But yes, Man United, Ighalo extended. They can play him for this season and the beginning of next season. So do you think this is a good move by Manchester United?
I do. I was quite surprised to hear it was extended till January 31st.
Yeah.
As they have Rashford and they have Greenwood, who both prefer to be wide, and I think they play better there as well. Not Greenwood, sorry, Martial and Rashford, who both play wide, and I think they prefer to play there. You have Greenwood, who plays up front, but he's still a little bit young. So there was potential maybe for them to bring someone in to help take that centre forward position forward. But clearly, they're sticking with Ighalo, who has played well.
Yeah, that's fair to say to him.
You did say he scored 0 goals, but in his defence, he's only played like 31 minutes of Premier League football.
Don't know why I had to put that in there, just to slight him.
Although I do have to add, he has actually missed 3 big chances. So, swings and roundabouts, it works itself out. But I think it's a good deal. I do very much enjoy how the negotiations would have very much been Ighalo going to his parent club I want to go back, and them going,
please let me stay. Yeah.
And them going, yeah, okay, you can if you sign this deal.
And he's like, okay, this is a perfectly fine deal with me, £400,000 per week. So I don't know, it's crazy money if we're thinking about this time. But it all depends what loan fee and what percentage of that 400,000 per week Man United are paying. Because if they're paying a large chunk of that, which I doubt would be the case, then maybe this loan deal wouldn't be such a great deal, because he is thought of as a backup and he's going to play the minutes that Rashford, Martial won't essentially play. So you'll be paying a lot for backup. But to be fair, if they're thinking about, bringing in someone like Sancho, it keeps the powder dry for Manchester United.
I think that, to be honest with you, United probably wanted to keep him. I actually think probably Ighalo wanted to go to Manchester United more than Manchester United want Ighalo. I imagine that whatever the negotiations were with his Chinese club, it would have been very much him saying, I want to go there. I don't see Manchester United offering up a lot more money than what they're already paying to keep the player. Yeah, and to be honest with you, what reasons could the Chinese club possibly offer for more money other than in proportion to kind of the amount of time that he's going to be there?
Yeah, well, apparently the Shanghai club were quite stubborn at the beginning of negotiations because they wanted him back. But then there was a lot of restrictions with him coming back to China and whatnot. So they probably softened their stance a bit and just let him have his little honeymoon at Manchester United. My thinking is, the long term, no, Ighalo is not the answer. But for the short term, yes. But it's still quite a while till January 31st. So we've got to wait and see.
Yeah, I think he's just filling the gap until Greenwood maybe is a little bit more battle ready for the Premier League, because he's still quite young. You need to give him time to develop, to make his mistakes, and to get better.
Yeah, this is the juicy transfer that Man United fans have been desperate for.
Well, speaking of juicy transfer news, Kia Joorabchian, the agent of Coutinho, has come out and said that ex-Liverpool player is definitely interested in a return to the Premier League. The Brazil international has been on loan at Bayern Munich this season, scoring 8 goals in 22 Bundesliga performances. Bayern Munich did have the option to purchase the 27-year-old, but that option has since expired. Coutinho has been linked with a number of Premier League clubs, from like Newcastle to Tottenham to Arsenal to Chelsea. There was even mention of a potential reunitement. I made that word up, but we're going with it. With Klopp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who do you think would be the best fit for Coutinho in the Premier League?
I don't know. I mean, he got the best fit, but then at the end of the day, who can really afford him? Who can really afford him?
Let me tweak the question a little bit for you then. Who, out of the realistic clubs that could afford him and could attract him, who would be the best fit?
For me, it would be Chelsea. Chelsea, because they've got a lot of holding midfielders, defensive midfielders. They have Mason Mount as their attacking midfielder, and Ross Barkley. But I think Coutinho would be the type of signing that would get them that real special player in behind Tammy Abraham. And, Chelsea have always got good links with Kia Joorabchian, so it would make sense from agents and club deal. But I don't know. There's not a lot of demand for Coutinho, so Kia Joorabchian would have to work pretty hard. I mean, I guess agents usually leak stuff to the press, but he literally just went on camera and just hauled out Coutinho and said, yeah, he's available. Premier League clubs, try and get him.
I imagine that's probably because Barcelona have told him that they don't want him. The thing with Coutinho is there's only a lack of interest. It's not for a lack of ability. I think any Premier League club, and I would say maybe 18 out of the 20 Premier League clubs, he would make them better, but it's the money attached to him.
Yeah, because, his time with Liverpool, people already know Coutinho. Like, he's a great passer of the ball. He can unlock a defense, and he's got a great long shot. But he doesn't really defend that much. But he would obviously improve, like you said, 18 of the 20 Premier League clubs. But I can't imagine anyone splashing out the cash unless Kia sort of comes to a real good compromise with a Premier League club, especially in this day and age where they don't even know when their next income's going to come. Yeah,
but I think that the rumor was that he's available for loan at 9 million, and whilst that doesn't seem like a great deal, at the same time, with not a lot of clubs probably being able to afford his full transfer value or what Barcelona will want, that might actually represent a short-term deal for a quality player.
Yeah, I would be well up for Newcastle getting Coutinho. Because Manchester City did it with Robinho. It was like their first marquee sort of world-class signing, and potentially if Newcastle can get this takeover bid done and dusted, what a player that would be, even on a loan, just to get in to Newcastle. That would be a massive statement.
Yeah, and I think that's something that usually clubs, when they get a new owner, they try to do. But it would definitely be interesting.
Yep. Okay, so the next piece of news is that Liverpool have the chance to win the Premier League title. I know you guys are in despair of that, but they could potentially win it away to Everton. But that fixture may be played at a neutral venue. Now, do you think it's unfair for Liverpool to be robbed of the chance of winning the title at Goodison Park, which I have no doubt every single Liverpool fan would have wanted?
I'm going to answer that with a question. Do you mind? I don't think.
I do.
I'm going to do it anyway. If you want to go by what's fair in a sporting sense, the fairest thing and probably the proper thing to do would be to cancel it, because if you look at the fixtures left, if you look at all the variables that go into this, because a lot of teams are no longer playing with fans there, as you've seen in the Bundesliga, home advantage has kind of been removed.
Yes.
On top of that, the fixtures have changed. So clubs that were on form are now playing different teams that maybe they were going to play. Like, it's going to sound really weird. We were obviously really off form, and we had West Ham coming up. I was petrified of playing West Ham. I thought they were playing really well. And now we've got
The
Manchester
bogey
United.
teams syndrome, right?
Well, it's that. And now we're playing Manchester United. And weirdly, I'm a little bit more confident, even though West Ham are playing terribly, but I'm a little bit more confident of playing Manchester United because we play a little bit better against better teams
Yeah.
than West Ham. And the dynamic has changed because they've changed the fixtures. So I think if you're looking into sporting fairness, the fairest thing to do would have been to cancel it because you're never going to be able to create that atmosphere. So what I'm essentially saying, Liverpool fans, if you're going to moan about sporting fairness that you can't celebrate about winning the league, you might end up cancelling it altogether if you really want to go down that road. I would say...
You're going to dangle that and just take it off the...
Look, all I'm saying, I know it's a bit shitty, and it is, but it's the best you got. Take it. Do I think it's fair? No. But to be honest with you, I don't think any of this setup is really properly fair. It's the best of a bad situation.
Everywhere else, they're going to be trying to play their games home and away. So why not just implement that? I mean, they're just scared that Liverpool are going to be celebrating outside of Goodison Park or Anfield and whatnot. So if you weren't so ready to celebrate, Liverpool fans, and cause a ruckus during this pandemic, then you probably would have been fine. But we know you're going to want to celebrate. So hopefully they can find a compromise and just block out the area. But if not, you're just gonna have to take it, Liverpool fans. I think 30 years waiting for a Premier League title, I think you'll take this without doubt. Yeah. So other than that, we have some transfer news.
I can never say his name. Sal Niguez?
Yes, Sal Niguez of Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, he's put. So we was actually going to do a news article about this, about which Premier League club was most likely to sign him, and it's been going around today that apparently this is either about like an esports team or some fourth tier Spanish team he's invested in. So
yeah, he got all the Man United fans all riled up and excited because he's been linked with Man United quite a bit. If they could swap out and sell Pogba and get another midfielder in, he was linked. But he has a very, very high release clause, and he's got a 6-year contract. So Man United would have to pay an astonishing transfer fee.
Is it 134 million?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think I remember when Arsenal were interested in him a few years back.
And then they find out the release clause, and they were like, "Oh my god, let's just get out of here quickly."
They bid 133 million and £1.
If you can save money, why not? Why not? I mean, I'm pretty sure Atletico Madrid would actually accept that fee. That's all. That is all. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed that news roundup. Follow us, Fickle Sports, on Instagram and YouTube. All that lovely stuff. Till next time.
See you later.
Has extended his loan with Manchester United from Shanghai. Oh, fucking... I knew that first thing was going to fuck me up.
It's all right. I'm dreading Kia Jorebshan.
Shanghai. Fucking hell.